because he's in a position to go down 0-2. Now he does have Savage Roar, which implies it is a faster Druid, so that's in my opinion, better than the ramp Druid against Shaman. But
I think in a tournament environment, I actually like the faster Druid better than ramp. Just because you're more likely to see slower decks, I think. Ramp, I think, is better against like Handlock, but it's worse against like Freeze Mage. Faster is better against Warrior. But I guess in this situation, it's still pretty bad either way.
Zombie Chow doesn't feel that threatening, does it? That you have to attack it now.
Not at all.
Wrath can be pretty important considering that there's a lot of 3 health minions you want to snipe. Like, whether it's Feral Spirits or Mana Tide Totem.
Flame Tongue Totem.
Flame Tongue Totems that you can't reach otherwise.
Yeah. You hide a Flame Tongue Totem behind a Taunt Totem. It's really hard to reach.
It does jeopardize the board a little bit.
Yeah. Gooby's got to be pretty happy about seeing that, though.
I mean, he has a pretty strong curve.
This gives him just heads up automatic Mana Tide Totem, though.
I like that. A lot of people would follow the curve of the Haunted Creeper, but this is his way. Okay, well, he can innervate out a 5-mana minion, and then the Mana Tide Totem essentially just gives a +1 because he can make it into a useless totem too with the silence on it. So, in the end, Shaman will go a +1 card from this.
Yeah.
But not the end of the world for a Druid. Kazan Mystic.
That
wow.
is, I think,
that
just Gooby
really
predicting a lot of
really
mages
clever.
today.
So what Kazan Mystic does, for anybody who doesn't know, is a 4-mana 4/3 that steals a secret from the opponent and puts it under your control. So if your opponent has Ice Block, you Kazan Mystic, and now you're the one that's immune.
I think there's a distinct advantage in players who either play week after week or the players that make it through the open into the match day. Because they get a really good idea of what the metagame is like, and it makes them make like snap tech choices in their decks.
Sure.
That really helped them through the meta. If you remember back, Zalay, he was one of the first players to run double BGH, at least in the Legendary Series. And now Gooby making the choice to put it through the Kazan Mystic because of how many mages there are right now.
Right. He's expecting Fatigue Mage, even if he hits the occasional Hunter. Yeah. Probably not going to play against Paladin Secrets.
Or the Avenged Paladin.
The Eye for an Eye, Holy Wrath. Yeah. Alright, Lightning Storm. Doesn't really matter if it rolls high or low on the... Oh, Spectre Knight, but it rolls low on both of those other minions.
Yikes.
It's pretty rough. That is pretty rough.
Mostly just trying to keep the board at a reasonable state, though, with the Lightning Storm.
Alright, well, let's see here. Kitkatz has a very interesting turn here because Wild Growth doesn't really do much in terms of the acceleration for the next 2 turns. It gets you his scenarios to turn earlier.
You just silence the Haunted Creeper.
Right.
And Hero Power.
But at the same time, then you'd be giving up the opportunity cost of, controlling the state of the board here, which
That's
I think is really good.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to hold on to Wild Growth now, you might as well hold on to it card-wise, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh, well, Gooby's now overloaded. And even if he could use all of his mana, he still have an awkward turn. Gonna try and get rid of this Azure Trig, but now Dr. Boom comes out. And it's still going to be tricky to try and deal with all of the Boom bots. And sure, he's got a Big Game Hunter and a Hex, but he's got to fight back for the board from that spot.
Yeah. If every turn he worries about removing and not building his own board, then eventually the Druid's just going to get to a point where Force of Nature Savagery combo is going to kill him.
This is, by the way, why Mind Control tech has gotten much more popular, because Dr. Boom does introduce more minions. If he had 1 minion already on top of the board, simply just have to have 1 more for the 4 count. It's very good. And sometimes you occasionally steal Dr. Boom.
I see a mix of players if they're going to trade in to one of the boom bots play the big game hunter first. It seems like it'd be better to get rid of one of the boom bots before you BGH. But yesterday I saw 2 or 3 players throw out the BGH first, and it would die right away after they traded into the boom bot. Wow. I think that's the better sequencing that Gooby did right there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you value the 4-2 body.
Yeah.
Just because it can challenge a lot of the higher health minions. Spectre Knight is not as scary anymore, unless this boom bot snipes the big game hunter. Then that'd be pretty nice.
It's pretty unlikely.
Yeah, it does seem unlikely. Not impossible though.
Nope.
I think you might want to maximize your chances too by hero powering here. So if you hero power and you kill off the Manatide with the Keeper of the Grove and the hero power, you can toss the 1-1 into a 1-1. Okay, well, outcome's about the same either way.
Yep. Spectral Knight's still a very problematic card to deal with. Flame Tongue Totem off the top would be juicy.
He still can kill it, which is the important thing.
Yeah.
If he can't kill it, then he's in trouble. One problem is that he's going to run out of taunts, and if his opponent has combo, he's going to be constantly threatening to kill him. And it'll get to the point where even Taunt Totem won't save him, because if Shaman gets to 12 health, you can always use the 2 damage you get from Savage Roar on the hero, your hero portrait itself, and attack the totem.
And it's going to be a while before he musters up enough board and enough damage to be able to threaten lethal himself. So, a lot of times if you get to a point in the game like this where almost every turn you will have to worry about combo in the very near future.
Oh, that's game.
Wow.
Top decking and wrecking.
Indeed.
Kitkatz gets the exact card he needed. And that's too bad, just because Gooby looked like he was off to a pretty good start, but the Shaman deck just gets pressured. This is what we're talking about too, about how this Druid deck sometimes just abuses the Shaman if it has that combo. If it plays slow, just look at what Gooby had. He had anti-Ancient of War. He had Ysera or Cenarius or Ragnaros. Like he was going to be set for a while. He had a lot of removal lined up.
Yeah, definitely. And so that's I think a really important win for Kitkatz.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there was an opportunity if he had lost that where he could have just got 3-0'd pretty not easily, but
it was telling me, he's like, I just want to get to the blind pick stage for my warrior. That's all it is. Like, that's all he cares about, right?
Yeah, that is.
That's what he's known for. It's coming up too on stream, warrior versus paladin. So now that Kitkatz has equalized, he has an opening. But this matchup, it's gotten pretty tough. Even though you do have those whirlwind effects, it does feel like paladin does have the tempo edge a lot of the times. And not to mention if they have Harrison Jones or other ways to really make your life difficult, then, well, I mean, even if you have the weapons and a Death Bite, you're not going to be able to get off the ideal sequence.
Yeah, talking with people, I hear a lot of mixed opinions about this matchup. Some people, especially paladin players, maybe it's just a confirmation bias, they feel like the matchup's actually weak because of cards like Death Bite, like Whirlwind, like Baron Geddon.
Sure.
It makes it hard if you can get control over the board early and stop that first push by the paladin, that mid-range paladin.